everything changes.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome in to the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel. Man, so many of you sent me the link to the story. I believe it's in Forbes about Amazon purchasing eBay in an all cash deal, or even some mix of cash and stock trade options. Is it possible? What would be the pros? What would be the cons? Why it would make sense for Amazon? Why it might not make sense? And also why the government could step in. So anybody familiar with the Microsoft antitrust lawsuit of the 90s and also of monopolization laws and fair market will know immediately why the government would step in on this. But what I want to do is take you over to their story, show you the back end of it, the rest of the story, and then we can talk about that antitrust. Before I jump into that though, I want to tell you guys that it's something that is a possibility to a point in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But in my opinion, it's not going to happen either because of common sense reasons or because of the government. I think there's too many hurdles and obstacles for this to actually come to fruition. But it's something interesting to talk about and something to look at because there are some major changes in e-commerce coming. And this is why I think it's so important that all of you watching, if you're going to be a seller, be it part-time or full-time, that you diversify. You make sure you are across all the platforms. That way, if one thing happens, Amazon buys eBay and shuts it down or something like that, just an example, you're not stuck on just eBay and get hammered. So you have to learn social media. You have to learn Shopify, your own website. You have to learn Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and Amazon and Posh and whatever you can learn, know how to use all of them so that if something goes down, you're not up such and such creek without paddles or even a boat for that matter. So let's go check out the story. And then I'm going to have you guys comment and tell me what you think down below so we can kind of get the conversation going, because look, this is just my opinion of what will and won't happen and the story's opinion. None of us really know. We're not eBay, we're not Amazon, and we're not behind the scenes, but open the conversation up to all of you and let you know what's going on. And remember, if you're not diversified, if you're not on multiple platforms, if you don't know how to use platforms, if you didn't even know you could sell on Instagram, many of you may not even know you can sell merchandise directly through Instagram using PayPal. Maybe it's time that you do. The $20.20 2020 package that I put out that's going to teach you all of those platforms plus your accounting and making your business legal. One of the best things you can do for yourself in 2020. It's linked below. So grab that package. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Best decision you'll make all year, and it's good for the entire year. And we have an amazing accountability team and packaged spreadsheet going on with it. So check that out. Let's go over to Forbes' article. I believe it's Forbes, and see what they think the pros and cons of Amazon buying eBay all cash are right now. Okay, so here's the story from Jim Osman on Forbes. He actually put it out New Year's Eve / New Year's Day. He works with the hedge funds and private equity, the big websites. So could Amazon buy eBay in a 2020 cash deal? Now, that's crazy because Amazon does have the money. They have hundreds of billions of dollars that they could pay cash for eBay. Now, eBay was valued at $33 billion, I think. They sold StubHub, which dropped them. I think it's still over 20 to 25 billion. eBay does 10 billion a year in gross revenue, and they're valued at an EBITDA of 2.5 to 3. That's basically the valuation that big companies give them. So at that number, it would be 25 to 30 billion. After they lost StubHub, which I think was a couple $100 million in income, they're probably down around 9 billion. So 2.5 times that would be what, like 22.5, maybe $24 billion. That's probably their valuation. Now, if Amazon was going to buy it in all cash, it would probably get a deal. It'd probably be less than that. They're showing the old CEO, John Donahue, which was all the way up until the end of I think 2012 or 2015. Yeah, 2015 when he left, Devin joined, and that was a $23 million payoff when he left. So whenever they talk about needing money, I mean, you can look right at those sort of things. They paid the old CFO, Bob Swan, $12 million to leave. So that was $35 million. Devin was making $14 million for 2 years. So that's another $28 million. Who knows what he got paid to leave? They've probably wasted at least $100 to $150 million in CEO and CFO payoffs and exit packages. That's a lot of money. So then we keep scrolling down. They talk about the January 31st, 2018 announcement when PayPal was being dropped for Adyen. And then they keep going down here. They're talking about PayPal shares plummeting. And then they talk about, when the companies like Paul Singer of Elliott Management attacked eBay because they have 4% and basically made them get rid of StubHub. So we keep scrolling, and it shows finally when Devin leaves the company. And there it is. He got a $6 million payment due within 30 days after departing eBay. That's crazy. They just gave him $6 million, and then eBay dropped 1%. Why is eBay struggling? Well, increasing competition, of course, slowing growth. The company boasts about its networks of buyers and sellers, which has always remained attractive to merchants. However, it's facing stiff competition with Amazon, even the large retailers like Walmart, and third-party vendors being allowed to sell on there. Facebook Marketplace has gotten bigger. We all know about Instagram's e-commerce. We know about Etsy. We know about Posh. Doesn't mention those, but it could. You scroll down, and here's the part where they talk about Amazon taking over eBay. eBay is primarily a marketplace business. 80.4% of fiscal year 18 revenue, where buyers and sellers connect from around the world. So 80% of their business is on the actual fees they make from buying and selling. They operate as an asset-light business. So what that means is, we know Amazon has a fleet of trucks. They have their own planes, their own vans. They have, 50 buildings all across the country. eBay doesn't have all that. They just have their corporate headquarters. They have a call center, employees, but they don't have all that overhead and all that expense. So that helps them be attractive, because that means the new company buying them isn't going to have to take over all those rent payments, electric payments, lease payments, property tax payments, gas, fuel, maintenance, none of that that Amazon has already. StubHub was 10% of their business, but they've already sold it. The purchase price was $4.5 billion on that. The classified platform business of 9.5% will also wind up being separated. So they're going to lose $8 billion in total value, which is going to leave them again in the low 20s, maybe right at $20 billion. The marketplace business is complementary to Amazon's own third-party seller business, which makes Amazon the obvious buyer. Amazon's speedy delivery could help entice eBay loyalists. And then eBay's superior margin. So this is the part that eBay does have Amazon beat in. eBay gets to make 10% on the sale. Once you're over on managed payments, they're going to handle, that fee. They're going to take over PayPal's fees. They also collect promoted listing fees. And they have a higher cash flow because they don't have all that overhead that they have to spend. Amazon's margins are eaten into due to its required maintenance of higher inventory as an online retailer. Exactly. They also have to compete with other people on their platform, which people hate. Amazon competing against you, so their margins become slimmer. So while Amazon does more sales and more total profits, their profit percentage is lower. So that would be like me selling a $100 item and making a $20 profit on it, and you selling a $20 item and making 15 profit. So I did way more sales than you. I did 100 and you did 20. My profit is 20 and your profit is 15, but your percentage of profit is way, way higher than mine. So that's where eBay has them beat. They just don't have enough volume to keep up with them. Amazon has, as of ending fiscal year 19, a cash balance of $43.4 billion. eBay worth 33.5, but remember, it's going to drop once StubHub and the other thing are sold. So you're talking about, again, low 20s, mid 20s. They're trending at 8.9 times EV EBITDA, which is really high. Usually it's 3 times, 4 times. So they're giving them an 8.9 times. Even if Amazon offers a 25% premium to purchase eBay at 11.2, eBay's enterprise value comes to around $42.8 billion, which is of course going to be less once the marketplace and StubHub are gone. This is going to cost Amazon somewhere between 35 and 40 billion to buy them, and Amazon could theoretically do it, maybe pay 90% cash and 10% stock trade. But Amazon has debt right now of $74.6 billion on its balance sheet, which may be a deterrent if they're trying to not add more debt. We'll have to see. I just don't think that Bezos is interested in going down this road. This would be 2 of the biggest online platforms coming together, except Alibaba, and the Federal Trade Commission, that's the FTC, would definitely step in to see if it would be allowed. I will link this story from Forbes, from Jim Osman. You can read this at your own leisure and tell me what you think about this. Do you think that Amazon in 2020 is going to make an offer to purchase eBay, or do you think someone else will, or do you think it's going to stay exactly how we see it today? All right. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate that. Make sure you are on multiple platforms, so just in case something like this happens, you don't have to rush around like your head's cut off like a chicken and try to figure out what you're going to do for another platform. Thanks as always. I'll see you guys next time.